there, everybody, and welcome to Thriving at Work expert interview. And today I am buzzing. I'm using that word, Bruce, because I know you use that word as well. So I am absolutely buzzing to be welcoming Bruce Daisley. Hi, Bruce.
Hello there. Thank you. Thank you for having me. Good to speak to you.
It's really, really lovely. And we met, I kind of followed you at one of the business show and, listened to your talk. And then I was the first one on the line to get your book. I know you only had 8 there. So I was like, I want one. So I really wanted to get that book because when I was hearing it, what you were saying is just so much from what the same words I use, same passion that we use to really help people to thrive at work, to feel better at work, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. It's like there's a strange thing where we spend so much of our lives and certainly so much of our waking lives at work. And it seems quite often to be, I think it's related to, it seems quite often embarrassing that we want to talk about it. I think it's related to when we were all at the playground in school. No one wanted to admit that they liked school or they wanted to make school better because, it's performative. So we used to say, oh, I hate school. And consequently, when we become an adult, we often worry that we don't necessarily want to talk about getting pleasure from our jobs and feeling satisfaction from our jobs. And I think that's one of the challenges presenting with us. The moment you start talking about improving our jobs, making work better, some people switch off because they feel like work is the thing that they go to do for 9 hours a day and they don't want to think any more of. The lesson that I think we're getting is that if we can make that 9 hours in our day more enjoyable, then for all of us, makes life just a little bit less awful.
Oh, absolutely. Totally. I mean, there's nothing worth like, waking up every morning thinking, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to go to work and I hate it and I hate the people. And, inside, outside, I always talk about how you think affect how you feel, affect how you behave. And this is completely how it works, isn't it? When you wake up in the morning and you're dreading this, day, it's never going to work. You're never going to thrive in your workplace.
Absolutely. And I think, all of us have probably experienced that. If people haven't experienced that, then they're immensely lucky. Their experience of work is a very fortunate one. But yeah, that's it. Whether it's the Sunday night dreads or the Monday morning sort of fear, it's a tragedy of modern health that you might be aware that heart attacks peak on a Monday morning. And
Wow.
It's largely a reflection of the fact that work is this this sort of stressful, pivotal part of our lives for many of us. So the interesting thing about that heart attacks is that people who generally have heart attacks are people who have bad bosses rather than they are the boss. It's the stresses of work that impose themselves upon us that actually lead to those moments of stress just becoming all too intolerable.
And I think, what are the biggest challenges you're seeing, in companies at the moment? So obviously stress, worrying, those are the kind of things you see on a daily basis or you hear.
Yeah, I mean, look, the whole thing is anchored around the way that the capitalist economy and system works, and the way that market economies work is they want us to achieve 3% more each year. And so one of the things that's paid the price of that is that we've seen very low productivity gains in the last 15, 20 years. This remarkable conundrum where technology has advanced more than at any period in human civilization, and yet human productivity hasn't increased. And one of the things that has come from the consequence of that is that it's been imposed upon us, well, work harder, do more. We've set you goals for how many calls you need to do. We've set you targets for what more you need to do. We need to measure that you're doing more. To some extent, it's like an old records turntable and we're just turning up the speed. And actually, it's an illusion of us doing more. The notion that somehow that we used to do 8 things and now we do 10 things, it's a total illusion. It's treating work as a performance. And the sad tragedy of it is that it actually makes work incredibly unpleasant and insufferable, as well as deeply unproductive.
Oh yeah, absolutely, totally. I mean, my kind of mission, is to bring more care into businesses, to bring more of that yin energy, and actually, really kind of show how you can, yes, you'll be more productive actually if you get care more, and if you feel valued and all that kind of things. That's really so important, to making that balance actually from that hard productivity, let's get on and let's do those calls and this, and actually, hi, how are you today? How's your dog? How's your cats? How's you as a person? And making them feel they're part of something.
Very much so. Those moments of human connection, we've somehow been given the impression that somehow they're sort of superfluous or they're unnecessary. And it seems that the best performing organizations are the ones that optimize for people spending time.